Hey guys, what's going on? It's the Mad Stacker here with another LEGO set review. This time hopefully a little bit shorter than some of the previous ones because it's a much smaller set. It's 76019, the Starblaster Showdown. This is the smallest set in the Guardians of the Galaxy sub-theme of the Marvel Superheroes line. It's only 196 pieces, and I was like, I have the other two Guardians of the Galaxy sets. I guess I might as well get this one too, because it's pretty cool. Wow, my hair's doing fun things, isn't it? We're having fun today at Stacks on Stacks, but this set, again, I mean, was released, this year. Obviously, it was released a couple months ago or last month or whatever. I got it today at Toys R Us. I got it as part of a buy one get one 40% off deal. That was part of the reason why I was like, yeah, okay, I'll lay down the money for it, whatever. It is a really fun set, actually. I was very pleasantly surprised at the way it turned out. Not a huge set, but definitely still cool nonetheless. First is, if you've seen my Milano review, then this ship probably looks very familiar. This, as I found out, is one of the main villain, Ronan the Accuser, his Necrocraft, which, I mean, it's obviously supposed to sound terrifying. It works pretty well, especially when they look like this. This one, I mean, the other one, the bigger one that I had it like this, but this one, it actually shows it in the instruction manual as having the wings folded back like that. That looks like kind of more of a landing position, though, and with them forward is kind of more of in an attack position. It looks a little bit like that the little ship that came with the Hive Crawler. With them up like this, I think it just looks kind of goofy, especially if they're like tilted forward. I don't know. It is pretty cool. It still has those same neat sticker designs on the windshield as the other one did. If I felt like getting up and getting the other one, I could do a little comparison of them, but maybe I'll put that on Instagram or something. I already did a comparison of Starlord, which I'll show you in a minute, but the other thing I find funny about this is it still has that busted up rock piece on the back. So I guess that's just the design of the ship. The back of it's just busted up, I guess. There were quite a few stickers in this set, but none of them were too irritating to put on. One of them was this little tiny one here in the cockpit. It still looks pretty cool, though. It makes it look like a little control panel. But, so this is, yes, one of Ronans Necrocraft. So, now we can put a name to the strangely designed little ship. Not to be outdone, though, is what I'm assuming is the Starblaster, which this thing is really awesome. I mean, it's not a color scheme you usually see. It's kind of similar to the Milano. It's dark blue, whereas the Milano is much brighter blue. But thankfully, I mean, for something that looks so ridiculous with this tail thing coming off the back, it's actually really sturdy. I was hoping that this back part would spin, but alas, it's fixed in place. I mean, it looks really neat. The cockpit's really kind of chunky, and it's got these cool lines coming down the sides that go all the way through the bottom. It does have flick missiles. I see they're starting to phase them out. I like that. Let's see more of that. Let's see even less flick missiles. Even fewer flick missiles. This one has another, tiny little sticker that you had to put on in the cockpit there. But, I mean, the real feature here is the tail, obviously. It's crazy detail. It's got all these fins on it. Those are all stickers, sadly. I was hoping those would be printed plates on the big fins, but, oh well. And the engine in the back, it's got all kinds of trans orange pieces. This whole disc here was really fun to build because it was just kind of over and over the same thing. One of the flick missile ends fell off. I apologize. It was just, little stacks of things that you put on these two huge circular pieces. But the main feature here is that this is, I believe, what's called pursuit mode. You can see it's kind of streamlined to fly very fast. But it does extend into what I believe is called arrest mode, where the fins come out. And it looks really cool. I don't know how you would display it like this, but that is obviously where the term Starblaster comes from, because it looks sort of like a star. But that, I mean, it just looks so neat like that, that I wish, I actually did manage to display it with a few stacks of clear bricks and one little under here. But, yeah, it looks really neat, and it's really suitable. I think it fits in with the aesthetic of the movie really well. Like I said, it feels very similar to the Milano, but it is really neat looking. The set came with 3 minifigs, surprisingly, which is pretty good for a $20 set. First off, you know him, you love it. It came with another Sakaran. It's literally the exact same one. There's one Sakaran in every set. Collect all 3. They're all the same. He's even got the same gun, which I've discussed. It's really cool looking. I'm just happy that now I have a squad of 3 Sakarans. and 2 Necrocraft. So that's pretty cool. If only... Well, the other one didn't come with a Necrocraft, but it came with that crazy missile launcher thing. So you got yourself a decent Sakaran army if you bought all 3 of the Guardians of the Galaxy sets. The one I was probably most excited for was the Nova Officer. They brought the Nova in for Guardians of the Galaxy, and I'm really excited about that. Nova are kind of Marvel's version of the Green Lanterns. They're space cops. And I think that they brought that across really, really well in their design for the movie. They look like space cops with the blue color scheme. They have the yellow. You can see they have kind of body armor. I love the star, the Nova design shows up both on the back and on the helmet. And, I mean, the helmet looks really cool. It does look really... It looks pretty authentic. Again, I want to do a side-by-side since I have this Nova and I have Comic Nova, which I forget which set he came with. Comic Nova. He was in one of them. One of the Ultimate Spider-Man sets, but he's really neat, and I do want to see them side by side. And of course, because they're space cops, he came with handcuffs, which means, of course, the set came with 2, because any set that has 1 handcuff is going to have 2 handcuffs in it. It's interesting because he has a double-sided head. One of them clearly has the chin strap for the helmet, but it's interesting because the other one does not, and it has him look a little bit more happy. So it does work. You can put him that way with the helmet. It looks a little bit weird that he doesn't have the chin strap on, but it still works out. But there's nothing. He just has the helmet. I guess you could put Starlord's hair on him, which I tried, and he looks kind of goofy with it. I don't know. I'm just going to keep him with the helmet, and I'm probably going to keep him with the chin strap so that he looks like he's ready for duty. Duty as a space cop. And last but not least, certainly, is Starlord with a very different print from the one in the Milano. This one, it seems like this one is kind of from the beginning of the movie, where he looks more disheveled. He's kind of, a little more roguish looking. He's got his shirt open. He's got his backpack on in the back, which is really neat. I almost didn't notice that before. But other than that, I mean, with the helmet, the guns, I think even the faces are the same. He has the one battle-ready face and then the one kind of smirking face. This one I decided to put with the helmet primarily because that's the way I think he looks a lot of the time in the beginning of the movie. He uses the helmet as kind of the Starlord persona. But I do really like this Starlord. I think I agree with some other people on Instagram. I think I like this Starlord better than the other one. I mean, even though they're pretty similar. Again, like I said, he did come with the hair, so you can display him without his helmet. And he also came with the orb from the movie that everyone is looking for. They're all searching for it. It's kind of weird to just have him hold that and not one of the guns. So that's it for the Starblaster Showdown. Again, pleasantly surprised. I really, really enjoyed this set. I'm going to enjoy finding somewhere to display it. And I think with this, it's cemented that the next city video I'm going to make is definitely going to be Marvel themed. I'm going to try to spread my Marvel stuff throughout the city and see what kind of mayhem and havoc they can wreak. Speaking of city videos, today's minifig of the day is not one that I made myself, but is one that someone else made and sent to me, which was amazing. I was very happy when I got a part in the mail today that came with Bricks for Chris's sig fig. This is Bricks for Chris. You know him, you love him. He definitely inspired me to start making a city and to start making city videos. His city is amazing and it's huge, and it's full of sig figs, and hopefully mine someday will be too. One thing I noticed is that a lot of people that I know that have sig figs kind of have like a signature accessory. Clutch has his dollar bill. I have a crowbar. Bubba Bricks has his walkie-talkie, and I noticed Bricks for Chris didn't have one. I racked my brain thinking what he might have, and I figured what better than a brick. A 1x1 brick. I wanted a black one because it would match his suit. Couldn't find one of those. I wanted a red one because that's kind of signature Lego red brick color. Didn't have one of those either. So I settled on blue. It looks very nice with him. I think it matches his eyes. It complements his eyes so well, doesn't it? So that's Bricks for Chris. Sorry about that. I'm excited to have him in my city, and I'm excited to feature him as minifig of the day. Even this one was kind of long. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed 76019, the Starblaster Showdown. Really cool set, and keep cool. It's hot out.